Aloha, everybody. I'm Maureen Tabura. I'm the nursing program coordinator here at Kauaʻi Community College.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tammie Napoleon. I'm the Health Education Division Chair at Kauaʻi Community College. So I would like to direct you all to the chat box, and I put a link there with the document that I'm going to be sharing on my screen. And this is going to show you all of our, oh, great. Where is my screen? Okay, hold on. There we go. So this is the same document that I shared with you, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our programs in our health education division at Kauaʻi Community College. So on this little document that you guys have access to, you will see our general contacts, our emails, and also our counselors. So my email is there, and our counselor for the health sciences is Shelly Sutter, and for our early childhood education program, it is Shante Sodora. Under programs of study, I put the link to the website for all of you. So if you just click here, you will be directed to the website of that program. So this is one of our programs under our division is early childhood education. Once you get to the website, you'll be able to see the admission requirements. For example, early childhood education, you just need to be qualified for English 100, and there are some fingerprinting and background checks to be part of the program. It will list you the program student learning outcomes, as well as provide you with pathways to completion. So our early childhood program, as well as our nursing program, are kind of what we like to call career ladder. So you could obtain certificate of competence and then move on to a certificate of achievement and accumulate with an associate degree in those programs. So let me go back. So early childhood program coordinator would be Toni Fujimoto, and her information is there. Again, it offers 3 pathways, certificate of competence, basically 3 courses in that program that would lead to you being able to be a preschool assistant. And then you can work your way to the certificate of achievement and associates of science. We also have a health and physical education program. The coordinator is Laura Dillman. Generally, she offers a variety of fun physical education classes for the college, like yoga and weight training. So, you know, some self-care and fun de-stressing classes. But under the liberal arts degree, she also has an academic subject certificate for the fitness professional program. And again, if you click onto the link, you would find that information there. So this would help you be, if you're interested in being like a personal trainer or a fitness professional that deals with physical education. We also have a medical assisting program that offers a certificate of achievement in medical assisting. And the program coordinator there is Victoria Mathis. If you click on here, you'll also see that information on the webpage. And it will explain to you the program requirements here. It's a cohort, it's a certificate of achievement. It's done in 2 semesters, fall and spring. And all the information you would need here is here. It looks like you prereqs. I don't see their prereq information. I think, there we go. There is prereq. So once you get into the meta program, as you see in fall semester 2 and spring semester 2, the alphas are all meta. But prior to that, English 100, Health 140, which is medical terminology class, and then some of these diversification courses are required before entering the program. I also do know that Victoria is working on an associate pathway for medical assisting. So we are in the planning phases of an associate's degree in medical assisting. Too much things open up. Okay. And then I'll let Ms. Tabura, since she's here with me today, talk about nursing and nurse's aid.
Good morning, everybody. So we have we have a career ladder program where you can start with a nurse's aid certificate and work as a nurse's aid, and then transition into the nursing program. Our nursing program is 5 semesters. After the first 3 semesters, you've learned enough to be eligible to sit for the LPN NCLEX exam. So as Tammie has brought you to our screen, our homepage, we do have program admission requirements, and the prereqs are also included there. So to be eligible to get into our program, you have to have a C or higher in all your prerequisite courses. You need a minimum GPA of 2.75, which is we do have the lowest GPA requirement in the system. Trying to help students that may not qualify for the 4.0 GPAs in the rest of the system, give them opportunity to enter a nursing program. We also require the TEAS, the Test of Essential Academic Skills exam, with a scaled score at a proficient level at all categories. You can see that information on our webpage. And then we use an admissions rubric, which is based on points, looking at your prereq classes, the grades, what else? Work experience, we give points for that, points for being a resident of the state, a resident of Kauaʻi gets preference. And so the prerequisites to use, generally, this can be completed in 1 year, but typically our students will take a slower path on their prerequisites. So you need to take English 100, Math 100, or higher. We actually encourage people to take Math 115, which is statistics, if you are going to pursue your bachelor's degree. General microbiology, anatomy and physiology, or zoology, depending on your campus, what it's called, 1 and 2. And then we also require development of psychology. And we also, as a prerequisite for our course, we have moved the pathophys, Nurse 212, into a prerequisite. The reason being, we found many students struggling when they took pathophys and their first nursing course, and then that would block seats for the 2 years. So we moved it to be a prerequisite. And we've seen much better success that way. So as you can see, then starting with fall semester 3, you would start your nursing courses. You'd have Nurse 210, which is health promotion, and it is a writing intensive course. Nurse 211 is just professionalism. And then spring, you take general pharm and health and illness 1. And then we have saying 5, but it's a 4-credit summer course called clinical immersion, where we get extra clinical hours in to assist students to gain their skills. And at the end of the summer session, they are now eligible for their LPN licensure exam. And then the last year is 2 semesters. Nurse 320 is health and illness 2. And again, that is a writing intensive course. And spring semester, you have Nurse 360 and 362, which is professionalism. We also have an additional elective for preceptoring, which is a 1-credit. And generally, we host that in the last spring semester. And that helps develop students' skills and transition into that new graduate role. our homepage, you can see just about all the information that you need. We even have for those LPNs that want to come back and obtain their RN, we have an LPN to RN transition pathway, which you can find that information on our webpage. And when you look at the information, it has all of our contact information. And then our CNA program is a 5-credit, 1-semester course. You have to be qualified for English 100, and you also need to have BLS CPR certification. If students don't have it coming into the program, we can provide that training. And at the completion of the 1-semester course, you will get your certificate of competency.
And it's a licensed program, right, Mo, for nurses?
The CNA. Yes, so then they're eligible to sit for the Prometrics exam and can work in the long-term care facilities. Can work in the hospital too, but the long-term care facilities require that licensure from Prometrics. And then we are part of the nursing consortium in the state. So Maui, Kapiolani, UH Manoa, and us, we all teach the same curriculum. And so all our students are automatically admitted to UH Manoa to complete 1 more year in their nursing courses. But there are additional gen ed requirements that are not required for the community colleges that you will have to take for UH Manoa. So that's something that you want to work carefully with our health science counselor to determine what additional classes to take along the pathway. And I'll turn it over to Tammie to talk about public health.
Okay, thank you. So we actually, this is a new program. We worked this year with the University of Hawaii at Manoa Public Health Studies School. And basically, their 3 introduction courses are going to be offered here at Kauaʻi Community College as a certificate of competence. We're working alongside University of Hawaii Manoa as well as Dr. Berryman, the Kauaʻi District Health Office, to provide these courses. I don't have a link to them right now because literally this is brand new. You guys are breaking news right now. But there's gonna be 3 courses: Public Health 201, which is Introduction to Public Health; Public Health 202, which is Public Health Issues in Hawaii. And if this is a Kauaʻi course, we'll also emphasize public health issues in Kauaʻi. And then Public Health 203, which is in Global Health. So Global Health, World Health. So we all know right now what's dominating the public health scene is COVID. But these courses are the same courses that are offered at University of Hawaii, Manoa. And we're working on an affiliation agreement to have these courses transfer easily. We already have like a verbal commitment that this will transfer, but we have to do the paperwork for it to articulate and make sure that it's in writing for both programs. So you can take these 3 courses here in Kauaʻi and then transfer to the University of Hawaii Manoa straight into their public health school. There is no prereqs at this time. The first course, the Public Health 201, will be offered in the fall. The only prereq to take Public Health 202 and 203, which would be offered in the spring, is you have to complete Public Health 201. So in 2 semesters, you would get your certificate of competence, and you can transfer to Manoa shortly after that with those 3 courses. So I don't have that much information about it on our website yet because our webmaster and our marketing people are literally making this more visible because again, it's new and we're putting everything in place last spring before COVID hit. But I did have a virtual information session that if you're interested in reviewing, it's recorded there, and there's a password for you to review if you wanted to hear about a virtual information session that had also the University of Hawaii Manoa's faculty on it, as well as Dr. Berryman. So the information in the virtual information session is there if you are interested in finding out more about the public health studies. So that's a kind of a lot. We do have, even though we're health sciences, we do have early childhood education in our mix, and physical education. So I know that some of you may be interested in one or more of these, and we wanted to turn it over to the rest of the time, to turn it over to all of you if you have any questions for us. So I believe you put it in chat, and they'll let us know what kind of questions you have, and we'll be happy to answer them.
Hi, everyone. So we have a lot of information that was just presented, and we do have the chat open for everyone. So please drop your questions in there so that we can get those to the presenters to answer. Remember, you likely have a question that someone else has, so don't be shy in asking. I see one question's come in so far. Can any or all classes be taken online? And I'm not sure if this is related to our current circumstances or past practice.
Okay, so that's a really good question, and it actually depends on the program of study. The early childhood education program, for example, has already had a mix of online and face-to-face. We call those hybrid offerings, where, you know, if your class is to meet twice a week, you might meet once a week online and once a week face-to-face. Due to COVID issues, they may transit, most of these programs are going to be ready to pivot to do online if we have to. The medical assisting and nursing programs have clinical hours that are required for certification by accreditation or state licensure. So those cannot be done online. Right now, I do know about nursing offering more the hybrid, where the didactic and the lectures will most likely be online. I'm not quite sure what medical assisting is doing yet, but they had a little bit of a mix of being able to offer online and face-to-face as well. Right now, the public health studies will start off being online for Public Health 201. So I will be doing that course as an online course, but one of the other things that some people may not quite understand is online may be a delivery of synchronous or asynchronous, where asynchronous might be you do it in your own way and you're totally independent and you will learn on your own. In a structured way, of course, with deadlines. You know, we all love deadlines. But synchronous would be online, but we are meeting at a certain time every single week. So some of these courses would do, for example, in nursing, if you were already in the pathophys course, we would do, we generally have as a hybrid. So we meet once a week and then we do online once a week. But with COVID, we've decided to do it all online, but it's a mix of synchronous and asynchronous. So once a week, we meet on a designated time and date. And then the rest of the week, it's online activities with deadlines and postings and case studies, et cetera, et cetera. But so even though it might be online, you might be directed to be in class at a certain time, depending on the course of study. So if you're interested in a particular program, again, and wondering how they might do it, I would email the program coordinators that you see here. And if you just click on those links, it'll send you straight to their email, and ask them more about their studies and how they're planning to run their courses, especially this fall and spring. And unfortunately, I can't tell you that's how it's going to be forever. It might be temporary, it might change, and because we like it or it's so effective, we're not sure. And everything kind of changes, but be prepared. I think with all of these courses, it's probably going to be safe to say that there might be an online component to them somehow, but not all of them can be fully online.
Thank you. Maureen, did you have anything to add regarding the online in-person mix? Well,
no, Tammie explained it, particularly for the nursing and the CNA course. There is a clinical component, so there will have to be some face-to-face. This past spring we had got some exceptions from our accreditors, but we do have accreditation standards and the State Board of Nursing rules and Prometrics, the Department of Health for the CNA program. So we do have regulations and rules that kind of control what we actually can and cannot do.
thank you. So we have a question related to clinical, so I'll go to that one. If I am not from Kauaʻi, but I've enrolled in the program there, can I do my clinical on another island?
Are they talking about nursing?
Yeah, I believe this is specific to nursing, yes.
So that would be a little difficult because we're not set up to do precepting or you need a clinical instructor, and we are not at that set up to have higher lectures on other islands. So really a clinical nursing needs to be on Kauaʻi.
Understood.
And then let me just clarify that point. It's because it's also a pre-licensure program. So pre-licensure programs are generally accredited at the site that they're in. So Kauaʻi and the instructors, a lot of the times pre-licensure, you have to have a clinical instructor with you during your clinical work. So because if you're on a Kauaʻi program, but you live on Oahu, our Kauaʻi instructors can't necessarily go to Oahu to do your clinicals with you. And we would then have to hire our specific instructor to work for Kauaʻi CC, but be in Oahu. So that's a little bit difficult. So if you are looking to stay on Oahu or Maui or the Big Island, there are nursing programs at Kapiolani CC, as well as UH Maui College and Hawaii CC, that could let you stay in the environment that you would like to be. Now, when you graduate and you are having your license and you go either for a bachelor's or a master's, but you already have your license, there are more opportunity to do clinical placements. For example, when you get into the consortium at UH Manoa, and you pass your RN license, because you can take the RN license as an associate's degree. You're a student at UH Manoa, but they might call us and say, hey, they want to do clinical because they live on Kauaʻi. Now that can be done there, but there's a difference between pre-licensure programs and post-licensure programs.
Thank you for answering those questions. I don't see any additional questions that have come in, but as you've directed the participants, there's a great resource. They can reach out directly for any additional program information.
Thank you for coming, and if you have questions, please reach out to any or all of us. We're more than ready to answer your questions.
Yes, thank you again for coming, and I hope this gave you a little bit of a introduction to what our Health Education Division at Kauaʻi Community College has in store for you. So feel free to reach out to any of the program coordinators or myself, the division chair, or our counselors, and they'll definitely be able to answer more questions for you.